Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And yes, we are live. We were not live earlier. It was our podcast where we have an opportunity to us talk amongst ourselves about whatever it is we're talking about. I think we're talking about what were we talking about? Oh, they want they being Democrats want Kamala to be the president anyhow by having Joe Biden step down for the rest of his term. So y'all go check that out on the channel as well. So I should say a big giant thank you and hello and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family and you are participants because sometimes we share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then you can go back to that. If you're not comfortable, just know that no one, not even Donovan, can see you but me until I bring you up to the big screen. Of course, please, if I've never seen you before, just show me your face really quick. And then you can go back to it being blanked out. I also ask that on the comment section and on the panel that we are respectful to each other. It's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So today we're going to be talking about Trump wanting to give reparations to those discriminated against due to DEI. We're going to have a loaded conversation about that because I've seen that trending around and people are like, that's what you voted for. That's what you get. He's going to give reparations to white people. So we're going to unpack that for the hour 15 minutes at the most that we are here tonight. So let's see who is on here. We have JJ. How you doing? Let's see. Here's Brother Reggie. How you doing? Mars Dreams. How are you? Your average logical thinker. Volvo, what's going on? Demario. Hope you're doing well. Mad Dog. How are you? Conscious Ether. Hope you're having a great day. Mike Nice. Let's see who else is on here. Cynthia, what's going on with you? Hope you're having a fabulous day. And Herman and Lisa. Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. I hope that you are well today. With that, Donovan and Gary, how are you? Donovan, what say you? And Abdullah, hope you're doing well.
Yes, absolutely. Mike Nice is on the mic too as well. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the show. It's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Demetra K is on, and this is where I'm going to be. It has been said, as they're continuing the post-election meltdown, one of the reasons that Kamala Harris lost was because of new Black media. 30% of eligible voters that usually vote for the Democratic Party walked away, and they said that is because a lot of Black people have been giving their attention to the new Black media, which means you guys were part of the problem of why Kamala Harris did not win. So pat yourselves on the back if that was your intentions, or was it your intention just to give the information out there? So again, thank you guys for what you guys do to spreading the message and giving a different perspective to make a more educated voter, because that's all we do here. We're giving the information from a different perspective. So anyway, do us a favor. You got a scrolling banner at the bottom there. We've been doing this show for over 8 years, and the reason why we continue to do this show is from donations and from people like you who keep funding this show and keeping it going. So we thank you so much. Ways that you can do that is Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money orders, however you guys want to do it. We really do appreciate that. Also, do not forget, censorship is a real thing. And the way you beat censorship is having your own platform. So do us a favor. If you guys are interested and you're not a member, join up with the African Diaspora News Channel. And you can do that on Apple Store and Google Play, Apple Store. You can download the channel there, become a member. You could get additional videos from Demetra K, Philip Scott, Sister Vicki Dillard, and all the rest of the correspondents around the diaspora. Also, you get the Emancipation Channel, which has videos on there which talk about a whole bunch of different subjects. You know, hopefully one day, Brother Phil will expand a little bit and he could pick up other channels and we could all be on one platform contributing to the African Diaspora News Channel. I don't know if he might think about doing a subscription type thing where you can like rent like a booth, like booth space, and you pay him to be on his channel so your channel could, or your message could get out there. But that's something to think about a little bit later. If you guys don't want to download the app, you can also go to African Diaspora News Channel.org. It's on YouTube. Sign up, become a member. Like, share, subscribe, share it on your platforms and get that message out there. I do a yearly subscription, which I don't have to worry about it. Wait for a year, renew annually, which is to me the best thing going for me. But for you guys, it might be different. But yeah, a lot of people are melting down. How many of you guys know Luther Campbell of the 2 Live Crew? all of a sudden, I'm with you guys. What are you guys talking about? We need to start our own party. I mean, he's just backtracking and bullying, and it's just amazing what they will do for the almighty dollar. For the love of money, people will steal from their brother. For the love of money. You know what I mean? It's just amazing how people will put themselves out there, embarrass themselves, ruin their family names, all in the name of a dollar. It is just so embarrassing. Go look at on YouTube, Luther Campbell. This guy is, I mean, he is moonwalking everything back. Like, oh, Trump is my president now. You know, hey, it is what it is. It's sad. And Charlemagne the God, another one. I don't even understand why they called him a fascist. He was the main one calling. Y'all, keep up the good work. Keep up the messaging. We got these people. I mean, they're running for the hills. People that were out there, they acting like they didn't support Kamala. And that's okay if you supported Kamala. It is okay. It's just the fact of all the trolling you did to people who were giving the message out there. It's just a shame. So, Dimitri, you got it.
So hello to everybody else that's come on here. I'll try to acknowledge you guys when I'm done speaking. Let's see, Cringeworthy Charles, how you doing? Buck Horace, what's going on? Celia, hope you're doing well. Lynette from Montgomery, Alabama. And I think I acknowledged everybody else so far.
Montgomery, Alabama, Maxwell Air Force Base, C-130 unit down there. The project is right on the base. I mean, it's right next door to the base. Can't miss it. Back in the day, the NCO club used to be packed with the girls from the project that would come over.
Sounds like I missed a good time. As Cynthia, thank you so much for the donation. We love you too. And DSB, thank you for the 8-month membership. I love and appreciate you as well. Okay, so let's get down to it. Okay, so there's been this clip of Trump running around. Of course, you guys know that Trump is the president-elect. He beat Kamala Harris in this past election. He will be the president for 2024-25. And, in 4 years after that, essentially, he was the 45th president, and now he will be the 47th. So, of course, he has been appointing his cabinet and things like that, chief of staff, and been talking about some of the things that he is going to do, get rid of. And one of the things that he's been talking about, even on the campaign trail, is getting rid of the Department of Education. I'm already see some trolls in here. I'd advise you to come on here, act like you got some sense, or I'm going to block you. I'm just going to tell you right now. So let me move this here. And again, I'm going to, hey, Sunlight, how you doing? Iron Will. All right, so I'm going to play the clip of what he said, and then I'll get more into it. So here we go.
I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit, unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you.
All right, so let me go ahead and remove that. So, of course, as I said, the Department of Education has been a point of contention. It's actually been a point of contention for a long time, actually since the days of Ronald Reagan. Now, the modern day Department of Education came into play under the Jimmy Carter administration in 1979. And then once Reagan came into office, he was trying to also dismantle it. But Congress, which was at the time also predominantly Republican, said, no, we don't want to do that. And so it has been in play ever since. But even before that, the Department of Education was around in the late 1800s. It was a smaller portion of it. And then, of course, it grew to what it is. So, of course, the Department of Education goes through K through 12 and higher education, basically making sure that there's equity. It takes care of low income students and makes sure that, basically people are getting an equal, put that in quotations. Education also does things like federal grants and loans for college students and a whole host of other things. Now, y'all heard President Donald Trump there talk about getting rid of it, and especially due to DEI being considered unfair practices. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is what it is. And so he's alluding to that. There's been people been harmed under DEI. So DEI is basically a program that ensures educationally and throughout some other financial institutions, other institutions, I should say, government institutions, that let's say people of color and Black people have a fair shot, right? Or women or anybody else that's considered to be marginalized. And so he's saying for anybody that's been harmed under that they are going to find the schools, and then they're going to take that money and give it to, let's say, the victims that have been harmed by DEI. He says that it's, let's, I guess, get the educational system back to where it is, real education. I think that's what he said. Okay, so of course that has a lot of people up in arms. They're saying that he's going to give restitution, reparations is the word that they're using, to white people, because the assumption is that's white people that have been harmed by diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so along with that, people are saying, well, that's what y'all voted for, MAGA, this, that, and the other. Now y'all gonna see this, that, and the other, what you voted for. But as I'm watching it, it doesn't say specifically white people, but I think we can all extrapolate. Maybe that's who he's talking about. But the other thing is this. I'm like, good. You know why I say good? And I've always said this, even before Trump was running for office again or any of that other stuff. See, the problem with us as Black people is we send our children to the white educational system, the public school system, and expect for them to teach our children about knowledge of self or anything else like that. Right now, it's been Marcus Garvey and Honorable Elijah Muhammad both said that we should pursue knowledge of self and pursue institutions of education that are owned and operated by us, so that we could teach our own children and stop expecting this so-called superior institutions to teach our children, right? And the other thing is, why didn't, if now the Democrats are using this talking point, oh, look what Trump is doing, why didn't they make sure that Trump did not come back? Now, what I mean by that is, why were they championing things like the open borders and allowing, upwards of 25 million people to invade the country, because that's what it was, right? And is, why didn't they stop that? Why didn't they give everybody some of what they wanted while they were sending money overseas to, fund these wars and a whole host of things? Black people in America have been asking for reparations since our ancestors left the plantations. But the Democrats, especially Kamala most recently, told us, no, I'm not going to do something that's just going to benefit Black people, right? So why didn't the Democrats do something to make sure Trump did not come back in office? If you guys watched the election, you saw the results. It was a referendum on the Democratic Party as a whole, right? Congress is now ran by the majority of Republicans, and now the presidency is going to be Republican. So all of Washington, for the most part, on the federal level, is going to be Republicans. Why did not the Democrats do something to stop it? And the other thing is the fear tactics. The Democrats are going on with the fear tactics to rub it in your face that since you voted for Trump, this is what you get. If you would have voted for Kamala, things would have been better. But it would not have been better, because things were not better. Because if they were, then damn near the whole country wouldn't have flipped red, right? I mean, if you look at the map, most of the country was red, meaning that most of the country did not want Kamala or the Democrats to be the president anymore. Now, instead of these fear tactics, why don't the Democrats say, okay, great, especially for you people who benefit, and I'm saying that loosely with hard quotations, those of y'all that benefit from DEI, here is how you will not be a victim of that. Here is a way for y'all to build your own schools or whatever it is, so you don't have to worry about the white supremacist school system and things like that. Why not give people the tools that they actually need instead of that carrot on the string? Now, I want to go back to some schools that are Black. You have the Nation of Islam, they have Muhammad University, they have HBCUs. For whatever reason, Black people always want to go to these private white institutions and force, white people to have them come in there via DEI programs, affirmative action, which has been gotten rid of as the educational component due to that of Edward Blum and the Asian students who said, hey, because of affirmative action, and we are actually being harmed, but now we're seeing that kind of backfire because now the legacy students, the wealthy students who are usually white, they are benefiting from that. So what about the HBCUs? And the other thing is I'm gonna bring up Dr. Umar. A lot of y'all are spicy in the mouth when it comes to Dr. Umar. Well, why hasn't he got to school? Where the school at? Now you see why it's important to not have the white man do anything for you. You cannot say that you're a fully fledged operating Black institution if you got white people, white money, white government, white anything involved. Now, Dr. Umar, listen, I have problems with some of Dr. Umar's things, but he has said repeatedly, I am having a hard time getting the school up and running because I am doing it without the government in any way, shape, or form, because I do not want them telling me how I can operate my school. But on the other hand, you got people who are begging to go and be with these white people at their schools instead of going to our institutions, right? Or as Dr. Claude Anderson says, let's build our own schools and education and all that other stuff. So to me, it's a plus because eventually Black people are going to have to wake up and start to unify. Now, there's a lot of people, Black people, who did not vote for Trump because they thought he would be better for them. There's a lot of Black people who voted for Trump because they thought that it would be a referendum on the Democrat Party, who has benefited from the Black vote for over 90 years and has practiced the benign neglect of Black people ever since, right? Black people started to say, now 85% of Black people did vote for Kamala, but she got, a lot less than the people before her. But Black people said, nah, you're not going to keep kicking me in the tailbone as I continue to vote for you. And I watch you, Kamala and Biden, open the borders and allow all these immigrants to come over here. And you tell them yes to food, housing, education, healthcare, and everything else you can think of, while you tell Black people no, who are the most homeless, the most undereducated, and everything else. Despite what y'all hear about the Black woman being the most educated, her children, her sons more specifically, are reading at a 3rd, 4th grade level. Okay, so it's the Black woman is educated, then she's not educating her children, but that's a whole different story. So there's things that actually going to be a positive coming out of this. Now, is he going to give reparations to white people? I think that's wording is trumped up from that of the Democratic Party to continue saying that you guys made a bad choice. But if their candidate Kamala wasn't a bad choice, Trump wouldn't be in office. And I'm going to get to you guys' comments.
I'm going to keep my comments very, very short. Again, if he's going to get reparations or not, what's there to be upset about? That's my question. What are you guys, not you guys, but what are these Democratic shills upset about? I live in California and we have a super Democratic this, that. You didn't give Black people a damn thing. And we're going to make sure we're going to get these people out in the next elections. They're going to have to work for every dime they get until every one of them are out. So if they give white people reparations, what's new? So what? They give Asians reparations. So what? What do we do about it? Nothing. They're giving the illegals reparations. As soon as they cross that border, they're giving them money. What are we doing about it? Nothing. I mean, in the cities, we're doing what we can. But the fact of the matter is, on the national level, we're doing nothing. If this was France or any other country outside of here, they'd be in the streets constantly. But no, we're too busy worried about our weed, worried about our Netflix, worried about our cars, worried about our women, worried about our jobs. No. We ain't ready to get it out of the mud. I mean, what difference does it make if you're not going to do anything? My mother says this all the time. It's all over but the hollering and the screaming. And here in California, that's the biggest thing. They tax us up the yin yang. And you hear people just hollering and screaming. Oh, how are they doing this? But at the end of the day, you're going to pay that tax and you're going to like it. So again, I don't agree with Dr. Umar in the aspect of what I agree with what he's trying to do. I think he would have been better off starting a charter school, whatever he was going to do, blah, 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 blah. But it is what it is. I know grift when I see it. That's just my opinion. But again, we're at a time where they have put us in a trick bag. And California, and I'm going to keep saying this on the show, is the blueprint. You want to talk about gentrification? They did it here in California, Ain't no black people here. Now they're trying to do it nationally. And it isn't about a Republican. You don't think the Republicans aren't in on this? Absolutely they are. So again, I agree with Demetra. Why are you worried about a government educating your children? Everything your child needs to know about life could be taught at home. My mother made sure I had an encyclopedia and all this other stuff that I could read, whatever the deal is. Thus, that's why people are very surprised at the stance that I take when it comes to certain things in politics and all that other stuff. Knowledge of self. But again, I'm going to tell you guys, you want to see what the Democrats and the Republicans are up to, mostly the Democrats and the fear tactics and stuff. Everything that they keep telling you guys right now, they were telling us that 10, 12 years ago, and look what happened to California. Where are the black folks at? Where are we at? There are only 14 members of the California Congressional Black Caucus. Even if we tried to mobilize, what good would it do us? We don't have a voice, and they flooded the nation with all of these people, so you don't have a voice either. But when it comes to education, I put the burden on us as a people. We don't want to marry each other. We let the Democrats continue to divide us with all of this racism and this and that and all this other stuff. And so now you got the mother who has to go out there and work as a single mom and doing all this other crap. Ain't got time to read to her children. Ain't got time to help them with their homework. You got the government doing it. Then you wonder why these kids don't know shit.
Hello, Thunder, One Unique, Monique, Deb Moore, Studio Bajas. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. MC Fact, what's going on with you? Dano, what's going on? I'll get to the rest of y'all just a minute. Cecilia, how you doing? Said that school is never coming. You can't run a school on donations. So you're talking about that of Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, it's sad that is never coming because we donate to each and everything else, but a school that is needed, right? He's trying to open up a school to help black boys, and black boys need it. We know that black boys have a very super low reading they read at I think a third grade level is what they're saying on average in most of the United States. So, or I guess a lot of places in the United States, I won't say most. But he's the donations, we should be flooding his school with donations. We flood with everything else. Hell, Kamala raised $1.2 billion. She raised $1.2 billion in what, a month? Or a month or two? But Umar's having a hard time opening up a black school. But then on the other hand, not you, Cecilia, but I'm just saying, on the other hand, we whine and cry about not being accepted into white schools or Trump. I want to get rid of the Department of Education, which allegedly was supposed to help black people too via civil rights. But we know that everybody else has benefited from civil rights but us. But why is he having a hard time getting donations? It's because there's a lot of our community. I'm not saying Dr. Umar hasn't deserved some of the scrutiny that he gets, but there's a lot of our community that would rather chastise the brother instead of help the brother. But again, on the other hand, cry about the Democrats or Republicans and nobody or any school rather letting black people in there, whatever the case is. We got all these HBCUs. Yes, I know a lot of them are named by for white people, whatever the case is, but those schools are still there for you. What I understand is a lot of other people that's going to that school that don't look like us, right? Or we could build schools with all the money that we see in the black community, 1.3 to 2 trillion, depending on who you believe. But we give 97% of that away. Why aren't we building schools? Why is Dr. Umar having a hard time getting his school built? Now, Donovan, you mentioned a charter school. That still is dictated by the government to some degree. So he's trying to do it without the interference of the government. So nobody could tell him how to operate a black school for black boys. When you have white people giving you money, then you have to dance to their rules. It's just the way it is. So let me get to these comments. I hope that is clear. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? If I did, hey, Patty, how you doing? Daryl Williams, what's going on with you? Biz, what's going on? Maxima, Busy says, can't miss what we wasn't going to get from Kamala. Yeah, she wasn't going to do it. And Maxima says, sorry. Okay, he said something earlier. Arneva, how you doing? Where you been? Hope you are doing well. Stanley Days, how you doing? Hope you're great. Niruda, how you doing? Says Umar needs to take care of his own household before claiming to try to take care of others. I'm not even for sure what that meant, but I hope that I did an okay job of explaining that. Let's see here, because the other alternative is sending your children to school that's ran by the government and state and local, and we know how that's been working. Young Deity, how you doing? Says loving your carbon mane. Okay. I ain't talking about my hair. I think that's what you're talking about. But hello. And then Thunder again, once again, hello to you. Let's see. I'm gonna skip down so I can Reba, how you doing? It says economic boycott, stop buying their mess and do business within our own community. I want to separate from them people. Yeah, now is a great time as ever to start to separate. Primo, how you doing? Says he right. The Mexicans are everywhere out here in California. Well, California too is right next to Mexico. So that's
California used to be Mexico. So
yeah. So not only that, I think we got to keep in mind too that there are Mexicans that belong in California, right? Not all of them are illegal. I think we just really need to give that context. Johnny, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mr. Norris, how are you? Said Dimitri Donovan, two of the most influential and intelligent people I've ever seen in my 73 years on the planet. Well, we love you for that. Salam, how you doing? Says drag queens in kindergarten. Nah, people want to fight for that. The same Democrats that are mad that Trump is gonna give the money, I guess, from these fines to people who've been harmed by DEI. That those are the people who champion that. They don't mind that kind of stuff going on in the school, but like I said, if the Democrats were so afraid of this Project 2025 or Trump or anything, why didn't they do anything to stop it besides the agenda of deletion of babies, and a whole host of other silliness that they ran on? And, the open borders, I think, kicked it off for a lot of people. It's like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And here we are.
Well, it kicked it off for a lot of people, I believe. But what it was, as long as it was at the border states who've been dealing with it for 40, 50 years, it wasn't a problem. Now, when it got shipped to the interior of the United States and up to New York, they're like, wait a minute. What do you mean you got to cut back resources? What the hell do you think's been going on here in California for the last 40, 50 years?
I think you said going on for the last 40 years, you kind of froze up a little bit. Child of God, he says, my child is 9 doing algebra and there's nothing to do. He says, it's natural progression of math. Public education was the trick bag. That I agree with you. Let's see here. Frankie says, when is he going to do something for us? Well, he may never do anything for us, but if you want to try to reach for something, closing those borders and sending people back, that is for us, whether you know it or not. So I just think, and I've always said this, and it's been said before, that a Trump presidency is going to have Black people unified. The Democrats are not about unity. They're about division in every way, shape, or form in the Black community. Their job is to divide. They're even doing it now as we speak. So Black people are eventually going to have to get back to where we were before civil rights and everything else came into play. We were a fully functioning community of people doing our own thing with each other. So eventually we're going to have to get back to that, or else, right? Brother Reddy says, Kamami raised a Billy, but now 20 million in debt. How is she going to fix the economy? She can't do simple math. It seems. I said that to somebody else too. Y'all talking about she's giving home loans and stuff. Like, how the hell she gonna give you a home loan and her ass's campaign went bankrupt to $20 million in a hole?
And even doing that, the president doesn't control the purse strings. So how can she promise that kind of money when she doesn't have the power to even delegate it?
Right. Thunder says, if this is true, this is good. Why don't we get together and collectively come up with $1 billion like the community did for Ms. Harris? I agree, but that go to show you, we ain't serious. We want to get one woman in the office, the one woman that has been ignoring you and told you out of her mouth, I'm not going to do nothing specifically for you, but they raised all that money to get her in there to do what? She's already showed you what she's about. The, wide opening of the borders and, a whole bunch of other
city
stuff.
girl spending, just writing checks, throwing the money out, no oversight, just spending it.
Right. Maximo says, and talking about the professional Black joke, have 10 million they were willing to give Kamala that she turned down, so they won't even help our people. Studio says, what if public high school has a male homecoming queen? Do you want your kids going there? Well, they have those, Cynthia, he says, Miss K, tell the truth to shame the devil. I'm gonna try. Thunder says, who says that he said this? He said, or is it something else? He said, no, he said it was a video I just put up. I took it down now, but yeah, he said that they're gonna find these institutions that have been, I guess, harming others through DEI. They're gonna find them and then take that money and then pay them some sort of restitution. But the other thing is too, who's to say that there hasn't been Black people who have been harmed by DEI? that he didn't specifically say white, although, as I said, people have taken that from it. But I mean, I would imagine it's not just for Black people, because it's not. Affirmative action wasn't just for Black people, because we know white women benefited from that the most. But see, it's all a play on words. They know that most people are asleep, and that if you see these people that on the news as the pill to authority, you'll listen to it and you'll inculcate all the propaganda as if it's true. Because as I saw this, I saw a whole bunch of people repeat white reparations for white people. And it's like, well, did he say white people, or could that be anybody? Right? So it's all how you think about stuff.
Well, the thing is, if you think about it, I as a Black man, I could get my reparations just based on the fact that they put Ketanji Brown in because she's a Black woman. I can get reparations based on what the DEI thing is saying, what he's saying, based on the fact that they made Biden select a Black woman for vice president. That's what they mean by the DEI, because now you didn't consider me as a potential for that position, because it had to be a Black woman, which is discriminatory, right? So again, if you, wherever you're at, if you know the parameters of what you're dealing with, you could probably get in on some of that money if you got the right situation.
Hey, Rom, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? Says peace and love. Umar ideas, right? Those who say Umar Trump is going to close down Department of Education, all those failing schools, and the many Black women who work in the area are out of luck. Yeah. The other thing to it is not as easy to shut down the Department of Education as a lot of people think. They think Trump is just going to go in there and just say, okay, it's closed now, board up the windows and the doors. It actually takes an act of Congress. And there's been other times that they entertained, Republican presidents have entertained getting rid of the Department of Education, and even a Republican-led Congress, as I said earlier, voted against it. So it's not as easy as it seems. It's just cute in theory, but it's not the first time that idea has been floated. So I just thought I'd put that out there. Another thing too, like you said, Facts Not Feelings. You said those who say Umar Trump is going to close down the Department of Education, all those failing schools, and the many Black women who work in the area out of luck. Well, here in Houston, there was a cheating ring of teachers, administrators who were having one person or two people, whatever, take the test for teachers who could not pass the teacher certification, right? So it's like those will probably be the same people cry about getting rid. Trump is trying to get rid of the Department of Education, but it's like, how are you helping? You passing teachers who can't pass a test, and they up in the classroom trying to teach children. And it's like, no wonder they can't read, write, arithmetic. Yes, arithmetic. And no wonder they can't do none of that either, because the teachers are silly. The teachers got to cheat. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like pointing their finger. Oh, he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. But you have a cheating ring where you're not even requiring teachers to even know the stuff that they're standing in front of the classroom for 8 hours a day pretending to teach, right? At this point, a lot of teachers just like, all right, open your book, and they read and then, just regurgitate. They're not even teaching. They're just reading, barely, I guess.
Yeah, whenever I think of that teaching ring, how many of you guys seen the movie School of Rock with Jack Black? It's almost like that. They just go in there. It's a big scam to them. They're just trying to get a check, and they're just trying to go home. Simple as that.
Right. So, I mean, we need to have the whole conversation. Got you, Donovan. Yeah, we need to have the whole conversation. But again, how many people will just listen to the Democrats, spinning fear out there, opposed to saying, okay, great. If he does close the Department of Education, this is what people need to do in order to not be harmed by it. As I said, my daughter is not school age anymore. She's a fully fledged adult. But if she was a kid, I would not have her in the public school system. I would not. I would homeschool her or send her to a school that is Black. But this school system nowadays it is a joke. So that's just me.
You do not want Demetra coming up to the school. She's been banned in Riverside, California.
I don't play about mine. That's right. I don't play about mine or anything that's attached to me. Nieces, nephews, friends of the family. No, I don't play. Oh, really? How you doing? But the new ones that's been here for 40 years plus weren't and are not the Chicano people, which you say, which you should study about, not the ones brought here in the early 80s. My thing is, are they here legally? I think that's the question, because you can migrate anywhere as long as you do it right? You get citizenship. So are they here legally? That because there's people who are
That's
here.
the question.
Yeah,
Legal.
that are legal. Right. Let's see here. Foolish Coyote, how you doing? Says that's a good idea, but Trump calls next up FBA and reparations. I mean, yeah, you know, listen, whether y'all believe it or not, reparations is gonna happen. I don't know if y'all been watching the news, and my dad, I don't watch the news, but my dad makes sure I watch the news. Did you watch the news? You been watching the news? I said, no, Dad, is there something specific going on I need to watch? He says, yeah, Camarillo, California is on fire. So I said, okay, Daddy, I'll go check it out. And sure enough, I think they got it out now. But Camarillo, California, if you know anything about Camarillo, California, it's up north. It's going towards Santa Barbara, Ventura, Oxnard, and those
Clint
areas.
Eastwood was the former mayor there.
Yeah, very nice area. And I'd say real estate, these houses are just superb, right? Older homes, a lot of land, just beautiful real estate. Where a fire ran through there last week with high winds. There was nothing the fire department could do. People lost, I think it was like over 14,000 acres or more, could be wrong, and a whole bunch of housing and structure just up in smoke. And then I was reading from people who said they lost antique cars and just collections and all kind of stuff that's been in their family forever. And I said, what's going on with Camarillo, right? Because if you believe what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, then you have to believe there's something to that, right? So then I go and I research and study of Camarillo, California. I said, they got a history of racism, even as of recently. Look at God. I feel sorry for those people, but what I say all that to say is, they may say white supremacists or whoever, we're not going to get reparations, but we going to get it. We're going to get it. So just keep doing what you got to do.
I always think reparations is like being in the car. You ever go on a long trip with your kids and they're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? As long as you keep asking and asking, eventually you're going to get it, because we're going to get tired of hearing about it. You have to do something about it. So as long as we keep the pressure on them, what other excuses are they going to have? Black people, you stood by me, so I'm going to stand by you. 4 years in office, I didn't do shit for you. 8 years of office of Obama, I didn't do shit for you. How much longer are we going to continue to be patient and wait and be civil about it? How much longer?
Yeah. Corey, thank you for the super sticker. Love and appreciate you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Entree, how are you doing? He says, I have no issues with us having Black schools before I donate. The person must be properly vetted and funds issued out by a board. Yeah, I agree. We should vet the person. They should have some sort of governance, a board or something that they do it. And I'm not saying this about you, Entree, at all, but let's make sure that we're also doing that to the institutions that don't look like us, right? Because as he said in the miseducation of the Negro, we really want to make sure our own are operating above board while giving white people a pass. Not saying that's you, Andre, but I'm just saying that's how we kind of think sometimes as a people. If it's white, they all right. And the example he gives in the book, Carter G. Woodson, is if a white man is making a sandwich, you don't even question whether his hands are clean. You just, But if a Black man is making your sandwich, it's like, are your hands clean? Did you wash your hands? So I agree with you, but let's make sure that we are administering that across the board. And somebody mentioned LeBron James at school. Yeah, it's not all the money he has. He still has to answer to some sort of government because it is a charter school. So yes, indeed. All right. Who else came on here that I did not see? I saw you, JJ, but I want to read your comments. It says too many of our folks are more interested in reality shows and hip hop, no matter how old they are. Yeah, and that's sad. Champagne Noir, how you doing? Says the Divine Nine donated a lot of money to Kamala. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying they should be canceled. They're no longer relevant. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, they tried really hard to get her in there. Gary says Black women need to listen to God and the men, Black men, instead of them folks and feminists. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Thunder says that was my next question. How do we know that it was not Black people that was harmed by DEI? Yeah, but again, people run off with the talking points and we just assume, right? And Ashley says, y'all know the white women benefited the most from DEI policies, not Black people. Oh, absolutely. Buckhorse, she says, there's a train coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board and thank the Lord. I like that. Okay. Ali says, if Kamala had won World War III, would have broken out. We dodged a bullet literally, and they're still trying to give her a consolation prize. Let that make sense. She ain't Black. Yeah, they want her to be president anyway. It's like, what does this lady got on y'all? You know? Primo, you says Mexican and Californian were once occupied by Native Indians. I researched that their lineage came from the Spain conquers, which is how they got here. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And we were here as well. Just to kind of put that out there. Let's see. A freed mind, how you doing? Says, remember the comments. What comment? Which comment is that? Because I don't know which one that is. Black American expat. How you doing? Says, exactly, Donovan. They did nothing for Black men. They catered only to Black women. Authentic human matter. How you doing? Says, as a Black woman have been harmed by DEI. So saying you have been harmed by DEI. I was made to perform the duties of unqualified immigrants. No shade. What? Easy says, check out this documentary on PBS. It says American Coup, Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898. You know what? I'll have a little bit of downtime this week, so I'm going to check it out. I love a good documentary. It's my favorite genre of stuff to watch. Oops. Donovan froze up. I'm assuming he'll be back. So I'll write that down. Gotcha, Easy. Thank you for the recommendation. Okay. Brother Reggie says, Kamala, the OG city girl, he crazy. And Ketanji were the biggest DEI hires. Yeah, that is true, whether we like it or not. Kelly, he says, funny, they said Kamala was Black, but she had to do a study for reparations, make it make sense, right? I mean, even a first grader, third grader knows about slavery, even on a small level, right? I would think so. What are we doing? They said Kamala was very smart, so she should know about slavery, even on a basic level, right? So Bad Ombre, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, well, at least Vanessa Jones didn't cry. You crazy. You talking about Van Jones? Van Jones is trying to do a 180 as well. Michelle W, how you doing? Says, Houston is so corrupt, horrible leadership in that city. You ain't lying. That's why I don't be going outside. Kimberly, how you doing? Says, there was a cheating ring in Georgia. Yeah, I heard about that one as well. Biz, she says, everyone had a month or two worth of food ready. A crock pot of roast beef and vegetables can last for days. These illegals being removed could be messy. We gonna see, right? And it sounds like the guy that they have Trump appointed to be the border czar, if you will, he's been doing that for 34 years, including in that of the Obama administration. So he's not new to this. So we'll see. History 24/7. How you doing? Says, talk about insulting Black people. That is how it's done. And I don't know what that is referring to, so forgive me. Big Dog Productions, how you doing? Says King Randall has his own school for Black boys, so it can be done. Yeah, it can be done. And it sounds like it's fully functional, operated by him. Is it a charter school? Is he getting any type of governmental help or anything like that? Mabby says white women really don't like competition. Absolutely. CJ says makes more sense for the states to run it anyway. They already do. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that is a good catch. That the states and local and states, I guess, entities, they actually run the school. So it's really up to them whether they want to implement any of the things from the federal level. Remember, the states operate independently from federal. Now, federal, they do send money to state and local, like schools and things like that. But they said even if Trump was to get rid of it, they can circumvent it by getting money from other departments, federal departments. So it's not like it's going to totally wipe out everything that the Department of Education does. So it's just all about knowing really what on the surface people will tell you, oh, he's getting rid of the Department of Education. And he should probably do a better job of that too, explaining it better why he wants to get rid of it. But then the people who are against it just say, well, if he does, there's other entities that can help the schools on a state level, right? But if you research it, you'll see that as well. Frederick says, I don't care how messy it gets, just get them out. Ooh, okay. Who else is on here? Let me skip down. Brother Reddy says this, and this is why I'm so happy that CNN and MSNBC, he said MSDNC ratings are dropping like mad. CNN about to fire a bunch of people. Their days of spewing propaganda is coming to an end. Yeah, Donovan was telling me about that before we came on. It sounds like they're not doing well with the ratings. So, all right. JJ says, Asians and Jewish people have schools 6 days a week for their children. Yep, that is true. Frederick says we need more Demetrius. Oh, okay. They were everywhere in the 60s and 70s. Really? Well, I was there in the 70s as well. Trinity Love, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who else haven't I seen in a minute? Child of God says they want us to pay for people affected by DEI. I didn't do any of those things. So they're actually going to fine the institutions, the schools. So it's not necessarily that you would pay. That's from what I understand. Trumpers want to impose fines on the institutions who engaged in DEI practices, from what I understand. Lady D, how you doing? Says Trump don't give them ish. Okay. Diane says, where in America do they not have a system of racism? Even under rocks buried at the bottom of the deep blue sea, there's racism, I'm sure. Thank you, astrological thing. You're telling people to watch your language. Yes. Yeah, if you're using salty language, please try not to. As I say to y'all, I cuss a lot. I just don't do it on here. I'm a Wally. How you doing? He says, my mother was ahead of her time in the 1960s. She was teaching me alphabets and multiplication using flashcards at 3 years old and how to tell time on the clock. I would skip from 3rd to 5th grade. Yeah, teach your babies at home. What are you doing with your kids at home all day? And then you send them to school, they don't know nothing. You ain't teaching them how to write their name, count, none of that. You just send them to school. Like you're supposed to be teaching them stuff. And it's bad now, more so because you have the cell phone, social media, the kids are on social media, the parents are on social media. So everybody's distracted, right? So we got to cut that out. Put the phone down more so than not. Maxime says most of us are already to stop being patient, I think you mean. Brother Samuel, how you doing? Says God is keeping the pressure on America to do right by his chosen people. Genesis said we would come out with great substance. Yep, there you go. We're watching it all unfold. So it's not when or if rather, it's when we get reparations. America has to atone for the original sin of slavery. And they have not done that. So whether they want to or not, we're going to start to see more and more travesties as far as Mother Nature is concerned, because that's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that we're going to see a lot of calamities fall upon America for what it has done to Black men and women of America. And we're seeing that every day. Lord Flawless, how you doing? Says they just give a participation trophy to teachers and students. Yep. And they up in the front of the classroom pretending like they know how to teach. 48 TCO, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Soto, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. It says, for your information, PBS showing a documentary, American Coup, Wilmington, 1868, talking about how and why Black sided with the Republicans and a fusion group to defeat them, very similar to this election. Yeah, I know a little bit about, the Republican Party and Black people back then, but I love documentaries. Like I said, I'm going to watch that. Samuel C, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Intuitive Esther's Healing, how you doing? It says Matrix have already collapsed. Okay, Jack Frost, how you doing? It says homegirl, you helped him get in office. Who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. You talking to me? I don't care if Trump is in office. I would rather have Trump in office than Kamala. I've never bitten my tongue about that at all. So if I helped him get in office, how about this? Because I'm in public relations. This is how you phrase things, right? Let me spin this. I helped Kamala stay out of office.
Right.
See, I like that wording better. You know what I mean? Because when you say that I helped Trump get in office, I did not actively campaign for Trump. I never said I was voting for Trump. I never put up 1 yard sign or any of that other stuff. I never endorsed Trump. So that would be a lie. But did I actively campaign against Kamala? Oh, absolutely, I did. I did every single day that I could, even to the tune of people being sick of me. I did. Yeah. So, Alan, how you doing? Says Demetria, you should watch a documentary called The Color of Medicine. There's a book version too. I've heard of that. Did I read The Color of Medicine? Y'all got, you know what? This is the divine intervention, because your girl has not been reading a lot. And I have, but I won't tell y'all what I'm reading because, it's just, I won't tell y'all what I'm reading. But I need to get back to reading more serious books. So I'm writing that down as well. Studio say, let it be messy. Why do you care? Okay. Mad Dog says, Illinois will be turning red for the midterm election. I think so too. They just need a little bit more time. But yeah, they have actually, they got a lot of traction. They came pretty close. Chicago did anyway, right? Joey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So what up, y'all? Look to hear the word reparation coming out of them folks' mouth, right? But no, the Democrats were afraid to use the word reparations, but now all of a sudden they ain't gonna be using white people getting reparations. They're gonna use it 25 times a day, but they were scared and they bit their tongue when it came to that, we even heard a lot of people on the radio and all these pundits, well, they keep asking for reparations and, but now they're going to keep on mentioning it because they think that's going to be like a black eye to us, but we ain't slow.
Right. And then if you guys think about this, sorry, my computer keeps going to airplane mode. I don't know why. I think they put some stuff in my computer. But anyway, I know, paranoia, right? But here's the thing. If you don't live in California, like I said, California just got screwed over. But we got to take a negative and make it a positive. How do we do that? When your state or your city talks about reparations and they're going to do a study, say, fine, we don't have to do a study. California already did it. It passed the House. It passed all the committees. Everything that is done was done in California. The study was done. So if anybody brings up the fact of a study, all you got to do is say, it already passed. California has already done it. That's going to be your inside and a faster track to you getting to the reparations. And if you guys start getting your reparations, it's going to reverse back to California. We've already done the study. So that part of the work is done. Just keep that in mind.
Hey, Larry, how you doing? You're absolutely right. Says we didn't get reparations because black people like NAACP and the Black Caucus, they go get money from the president for black people and then they put it in their pockets, right? And they block and gatekeep and tell us what we can and cannot do, right? They keep us stagnant. They keep a carrot in front of us, making us think that one day we shall overcome. And, when you keep hope alive and hope and change, and when you fight, we win, we're moving forward, and all these other talking points that they put before us. But like you said, they get a whole lot of money to pretend to help black people, and they do nothing but sit on their hands and keep us stagnant. Like you said, the Black Caucus, they help everybody but us. If you look at the Black Caucus's their mission statement, it says helping black people and other marginalized communities. Nobody else's mission statement, Asians, Hispanic, anybody else, their mission statement does not say Asians and everybody else. It says Asians. But Black Caucus, they meant that they were going to help to everybody else, the marginalized people, because they ain't really did nothing for black people specifically, probably since they were formed, right?
And what's crazy about the Black Caucus is they're stuck in the civil rights movement. Think about all the people that back in the day marched with the black folks and piggybacked off civil rights, right? And the black suffrage. And yet when they got what they wanted, the Jews were right there with us. And then when they got what they wanted and they separated themselves. All of these groups benefit off of black suffrage. And then when they get what they want, they separate themselves. Who's that young girl? She's from Texas and she sounds like a civil rights era type person. And she's always defending the Democratic Party. She's a young girl out of Texas.
Jasmine
Crockett. Listen to how she talks. You can tell she is just an extension, a younger extension of the civil rights era politicians. She ain't going to do nothing for no black people. Right now, she's been in Congress, 4 years now, I believe, 4 years or something like that. Name me one legislation bill or anything you can specifically say that she's done for the people who voted her into office.
Yeah, she's that one that came up with bad, built, bleach, blonde, something. That'll be the highlight of her career.
While wearing a hair hat on her head. Yeah.
That'll be the highlight of her career. You crazy. Lauren, she says, we were taught penmanship and dangers of peer pressure that still need to be taught, especially these days, right? Teach your children about the dangers of peer pressure. See, me personally, I've never suffered from peer pressure. I was one of those people like, I tell y'all the story all the time. All the time. When I was a kid, they had this nasty little game called hide and go get it. And y'all know what they was trying to go get once they found you. So I heard some horror stories and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to play. And I went and hid right in the house. And then the next day they'd be like, where did you go? In the house, you wasn't going to find me and do nothing to me. So I didn't really buckle to peer pressure at all. I was like, nah, that's stupid. I'm not doing it. Have I done some silly things? Yes. But never to the point of, being brainwashed by stupidity. Never. Let's see who else is on here. Samuel C says the NAACP needs a whole new administration of Gen X. Yep, I agree. Millennials who are about helping our black men and women and not aligning with other groups. Yep, you're right. It needs a whole do-over. We know that it has skipped our generation. Now, when I say our generation, I'm 35, give or take.
Generation X. Oh, I'm sorry. You're Generation Y.
I'm a millennial. What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's skipped us, right? And now my daughter's, age group and people around there. But I agree, it needs some fresh blood, some fresh ideas.
Yeah, Generation X is done. You don't even waste your time, because the reason I'm saying that, and I'm a Generation Xer, is because we are the one generation that closely identifies with our parents. That's why you got a Jasmine Crockett and people, of that ilk. So what they need to do is completely skip over that generation and go to the 35, age group, in that, the young 40s and stuff like that. Skip over anybody 50 and above. Don't even waste your time.
That's right, Biz. I help everybody, not just Trump. If Trump benefited from what I and Donovan did, or Donovan and I did, then great. But let me tell y'all something about me. Now, I've said this before. My heart pumps that much Kool-Aid when it comes to me standing on what I believe is right. Now, I'm not stupid. I can take correction. If I'm wrong, I don't like it. Now, I ain't gonna lie to kick. I don't like criticism, but I'm smart enough to listen to it. But I say that my heart pumps no Kool-Aid because I'm not like some of these people out there scared to say what it is they need to say. I did not like Kamala in 2019. I did not like her in 2024. And I'm probably not going to like her in 2028 if she runs, because I do not like what she did to people in California, especially people that I know. I do not like that. I do not like that she sat up there as a so-called Black woman and told Black people, I ain't going to do nothing that specifically helps you. And then she opened up the damn borders and let everybody and their mama up in here while telling Black people no. So I'm not going to sit up here. I'm not going to sit up here and say I didn't help. I didn't help Trump a little bit. I'm sure it did. But again, it was not about helping Trump. It was about not letting her get in office. I always called Kamala a Trojan horse. And that's what she is. Is Trump a Trojan horse? I don't think so, because Trump says everything that's on his mind. And that's not always a good idea either. But Kamala sitting up there lying to kick it like she just loved Black people so much, just because she wear chucks and pearls and run around and, and having Bootsy Collins and or whoever else, a Funkadelic at her campaigns. That don't mean she Black, but let me shut up. I said too much. Anyway, Nona, how you doing? Says my mother ordered me books. By the time I was 5, I could read a newspaper. There you go. Why aren't you teaching your children how to read?
Yeah, Rock Bush says not all 50 and over are lost. That isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. When we say identify, we're not talking about politics. We're not talking about that. We're talking about we are the generation that closely identifies with our parents. What do I mean by that? Some of us experienced the civil rights era as young kids. Some of us experienced busing. A lot of us experienced in the 70s racial segregation, because we were the first generation that was going to be part of this new integrated society. So the way we dress, our fashion, our clothes, our music, you can't sit here and tell me you guys don't like the Four Tops. You don't like the Temptations. You don't like Parliament Funkadelic. That was all our parents' music. See, that's what we're talking about. Al Green, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking politics. But if you take our children and you listen to the crap that they're listening to, I would almost bet outside of Demetra, you could barely name an artist that your kids listen to. That's what we're talking about. We're just totally different. We're the last generation that closely aligns with the generation previous to us.
Yeah, I you know what? My daughter is very well versed in music, so I know a lot of the younger people. Tyler, the Creator. I like Tyler, the Creator. Some of y'all may not know who he is, and y'all should, maybe check him out. But yeah, I'm versed enough on his stuff. Anyway, Life Alliance Group, how you doing? Says Demetra K. did an incredible job making the points loud and clear on all of the reasons why nobody, especially Black folks, should not vote for Kamala. Love you, Queen. I love you too. Yeah, and I appreciate that. But I like I said, I'm not afraid to say that. Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Who else is on here? Dan, you says the Black Caucus need to be ashamed of themselves, but they're not, right? You got people like Maxine Waters, who's was there when Jesus graduated high school. She's still there in Congress, reclaiming her time. It's like, when are you going to stop and actually do something, So it's a mess. It really is. MC Factor says the Black Caucus were all about helping immigrants, and they still are. Even like you said, Donovan said in California, the California Black Caucus, they didn't even take the reparation vote to the floor. But they were all on board with the migrants getting the $150,000 home loan. They're all on board with the $2.6 billion that California is going to spend a year on undocumented immigrants. Healthcare.
And we're in a deficit. We're in a deficit. And they had no problem deficit spending. No problem.
A deficit too, where y'all going to be paying 65 cents more a gallon. What is it, like some sort of a tax or something? 65 cents more on top of what you're already paying to help cover the deficit.
Yeah, and not to include, by the way, they put an 11% tax on top of the tax you're already getting on the guns. If you try to buy a gun, legally buy a gun in California, they put 11. It's called a surcharge tax on top of that. So you can't even really buy a gun if you don't want to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get a gun.
Yeah, but like you said, they have a deficit, but they want to spend money for them. So that was the Black California Caucus. That was all right with that, but they didn't even think Black people are worthy enough to go to even take the votes to be vetoed or voted on by Gavin Newsom. They were blocking for Big Daddy, is what they were doing. All right, so let's see. One unique, he says Jasmine Crocker will be another Sheila Jackson Lee. She just, I ain't gonna say nothing because I'll be saying too much.
Is 0586 lower down in the chat. He or she says, I'm sorry, can't tell which one you're. Maxine Waters about to look like the Black Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. And I saw that video you did on African diaspora. She did not look good in that. I mean, she looks like her days are.
I'm about to say bow to. Sister B, how you doing? So Jasmine has done absolutely nothing. She's like Angela Rice, sassy and productive for everyone but ADOS. See, y'all know more about her than I do. I just, know she's a sassy talking sister. King's Vendetta, how you doing? Says Christians want the world to end so bad. They must be trying to have the rapture happen. Get sucked up.
Wait. I'm sorry. Cecilia Jackson says, don't mean to be petty, but Maxine Waters, you have enough money to get that wig straight. Leave Maxine alone.
Leave Maxine's wig.
She's reclaiming her time.
You know what though? Maxine is 100. If anybody should be able to wear a wig, it's her. Okay. I'm not mad. I just don't like her straightening it on national TV while she's live. She's, she's trying to get it straight. Hell, when I'm that old, I'm probably gonna be doing the same thing. Tracy says, I'm Gen X and I never aligned with my mother's generation once. Again, grouping us all. I'm Gen X as well. I align with my mom's generation. She's a boomer. My grandmother was a silent generation. I align with all of them and I say that because those teachings, they funnel down, right? And with that, the teachings that I learned from them funnel down to my daughter, my nieces, and people that I have a direct contact with. So I think we should keep that line that joins our generation together because we can learn from some of every generation, right?
Yeah, and if you think about it, remember when there was no such cable? We were around when there was no computers, where there was no cable, there was no internet. These are things that we have in association with our parents and our grandparents and back in the day. I mean, these new kids, it's a total different schism. I mean, it's not the same. We don't have the same value system. We are the last generation that experiences a little bit of what it used to be like. We're like that bridge generation.
It is up to us to teach those values. I'm saying that as I don't have a microphone, but teach those values to our children. If the children of today do not have values, it's because we have stopped teaching them values. It's because we don't value the values that were taught to us, right? Because there's women my age and men your age that are still trying to be city girls and, men of the world and all this other stuff.
Right. I mean, I'm looking at around now when I see younger millennials or Generation Y, whatever you call it. My kid, I go to the park and walk my dog, and I see younger kids smoking weed, watching their kids. I mean, that is totally goes against what we were taught. Don't get me wrong, drugs and stuff and prostitution has been around forever. But guess what? Yes, but back in the day, they didn't do it in front of the kids. Now you got the parents smoking weeds with the kids. That didn't happen in my generation. That's happening in the newer generations. See, so we are the last generation, that bridge generation, to where this boom in technology actually happened. And some of us, even right now, you guys know damn well something. If you guys hated the fact that some of your kids moved out because now you don't know how to program your VCR or your DVD and your Wi-Fi in your home. You don't even know what your password is on your phone. So come on now.
Hey, I take that personally. You talking about me?
Too. But that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. They are totally different than us. They don't identify with us. When I was coming up, I didn't have to worry about giving a phone to my mom and programming it for. The worst I had to worry about is getting my ass beat for losing the key to the house.
That was a hell of an ass whooping, wasn't it? My God. Big Pill, he says, when am I coming to Chicago? I would love to come to Chicago. I've been obviously before, but I would love to go in the near future. I like Chicago. And I also want to say happy birthday to Nona Jones. Happy birthday, say 57. Hope that you're having a great day today. Joey says, I tell you this, she ain't gonna beat JD Vance neither 2028 if he runs. Oh, I guarantee you she will not. People like JD Vance. Facts and Feelings says, I wonder who was the prosecutor or attorney general in charge of prosecuting Michael Jackson in California. Investigation may be in order. They're saying that it was Kamala, but it wasn't. It wasn't Kamala. It was oh hell, don't give me the line. But it wasn't her. I know she's made some statements about it, but I don't believe it was her at all. Just to put that out there. The Nature GBO, how you doing? I hope it's all is well. And I don't even know what that is at this point. Brother Reggie says, I miss listening and jamming to the music with my parents and aunts and uncles. Yeah,
absolutely. Breaking news happened about an hour ago. Somebody just put that in the chat. Breaking news, and that's from Easy 7700 says, and it's actually factual. Breaking news: Ray J is on the move. They are after him now. Somebody just tried to, I guess, according to the outlet, just tried to kill him.
Ray J. Brandy's brother.
Brandy's little brother.
Wait a minute.
Ray J claims he was shot at.
He might have been. Ray J we need to cut it in half lately because lately he been sipping some scissor or something. Mad Dog says, God, Maxine Waters would just she just go retire somewhere? Nah, they don't know how. Those people are power hungry. From my cold dead hands, I will lay in the rotunda of Congress or the halls of the Capitol before you know what I mean? They're gonna die on a seat.
And what's really sad is, okay, you spent all that time in Congress, over 30 years and counting now, and there is not one legislative accomplishment that has her name on it that I could name. If you're going to stay on the seat that long, have something to leave as a legacy. Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of the House. I'm not saying that that's not a big and powerful position, because it is. You're number 3 in line for the presidency. However, how is she such a power broker where she can push Joe Biden, the president of the United States, out of office and install somebody else? But you look at her legislative record since she's been in there since the 1970s, there's nothing with her name on it. Nothing. Her claim to fame is she brings big money to the Democratic Party. She's a big Democratic Party money getter.
Nancy got the juice, okay? She got the juice. Mab, you said you left in 2021. Yeah, it's worse now. Sister B says, did you and Donovan already talk about the October 30th executive order for money for Hispanic serving institutions and businesses? Yes, we did. That is something that Joe Biden ordered. But we can't get nothing specific, right? But he already told y'all when he was talking to the so-called black leaders, y'all better learn how to get along with them. They outnumber you. He said that when he was president-elect. So he's like, I didn't lie about that, right? You crazy, Joey says Maxine Waters look like James Brown. Y'all better leave her alone. Allie says, I remember like yesterday when Michael Jackson passed, I had a dream and his spirit told me he didn't have a dime. Do you think it was our Cherokee lineage? Kamala should have never messed with his sister. Yeah, Janet Jackson, I love her even more. So that she was like, I didn't apologize. In fact, you fired, fool. You don't apologize for me. And then he talking about, oh, of course she stands with Kamala. She's like, I didn't say that. So yeah, I love her even more. LG, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I think we're getting to the bottom. We're going to get out of here. Yeah, Ray J on the move. Y'all crazy. 70 DRC, how you doing? Says, what's the age for baby boomers? I think it's 1943.
The last year considered to be considered a baby boomer is 1966.
Yeah, so like 43, something like that, or
just go with 1966. That was the cutoff right there.
Yeah. But just know that there's some silent generationers that's still in Congress, and Maxine and Jim Clyburn and Biden and who else? And all
Nancy.
Silent generation.
The leadership of the Democratic Party is 80 years old. That is the average age of the leadership of the Democratic Party, in their 80s.
That's right, Dano. That's right. Last of the cool kids. You better believe it. I tell my daughter all the time, who you talking to? Hip hop started with my generation. Who you talking to?
I mean, think about it. These younger kids, they don't know what it's to go outside all day and have to run home when the lights come on. They have no clue because they had to be inside. Right.
Black America, how you doing today? You're always on some mess. What am I wrong about? You just keep saying I'm wrong, but you won't say what it is. It's probably because you know I'm right. Let's see here. He says, if y'all don't drop that word black and African, these immigrants will be getting reparations and y'all taxed to death to pay for it. Interchangeable is permitting mutual substitutions and replacement. Okay.
We already know the everybody else is getting reparation. They give them the money as soon as they cross the border illegally.
And tell them where to go get it. And tell them do you have a phone? Oh, okay, so then you go see that bush over there. You make a right, and then you go down there, and then when you see the man with the plan, he gonna give you a free phone. Tiny says, right, Donovan, they know nothing about water hose. They're drinking, not drinking, but drinking from the water hose. Siku, how you doing? Says Donald Trump and said Maxine Waters has a James Brown wig. Yeah, that's something you can't unsee or unhear. Thunder says, what are we truly afraid of them doing something negative to us or having to do something positive for ourselves? That the Democrats don't want Black people especially to be empowered, because then they lose their power if we're empowered, right? If we say, you mean I can do some of this stuff for myself? You mean I don't have to be dependent on the Democratic Party? See, when we get that knowledge, then they know they're done for real. So you pose a good question. Like I said, what are we afraid of them doing? Like you hear all these scared people. And like I said the other day, I hate a man that's scary. I can't stand the scary man. I was going to be on plantation. I got the text message and they going to have me picking cotton. It's like, and you going to let them? You going to let them put you on the plantation? That do you urinate sitting down to? I'm just curious.
Yeah, sorry, Brick, and correction, baby boomers officially stopped in 1964. I was 2 years off. I don't know why.
Oh, gosh.
1946 to 1964.
You're such a failure. How could you get that wrong? Letitia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. Thunder says, question, do we still teach our children home training? Now, you know damn well we don't. I'm just playing. We do. We just gotten a little laxed. You know what I mean? A little lax.
Some of us do. Not all of us. Some of us do.
We do. I do. Big pill. What kind of pill is it, if you don't mind me asking? It says, as children, it says, as children, we had our own way of life because of adulthood and the striving for acceptance. We lost our individuality. I can see that.
Now, would you guys not agree? Generation X is so damn dope because we brought in the computers and everything that's cool right now, technology-wise. But remember, our rappers and our singers used to dress up in suits and be dancing like Big Daddy Kane and all them guys and had the nice fresh haircuts. I mean, we had the style and the ladies looked good. And I mean, we had it all. What happened, y'all? What happened?
People just don't care no more. See, cool. How you doing? Once again, thank you so much for becoming a member. Love and appreciate you for that. Yes, Raven, I saw that Bitcoin. It actually hit 90,000. I saw that early this morning. it hit 90,000. I was like, oh my God, that's huge, especially if you own a lot of Bitcoin. All right, so let's see. Larry, you say, I think they're mad at us because we refuse to fight back against racism and we let them go to school that tell them lies and still doing it too, and we will not fight against the lies. Yeah, I do. Hey, Beauty with Brains, how you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, when they were trying to lie to my daughter in school, yeah, they was like, oh my God, here she comes again. It was like, yeah, I need to talk to you about what you're trying to teach my child, because that's not what she learned at home. She did not learn that slavery was cute. Don't teach my daughter that, because she doesn't know that version of slavery. Nevertheless, that didn't get taught that I know of. Right, LG, talk about some damn breaking news. Ray J is on the run.
Hey, he's gonna be the new generation OJ, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, but he's been on the news all suited and booted talking about Diddy. They got him on, was it Piers Morgan and all of the other news, and he's sitting up there. He was talking about somebody booty cheeks and stuff. It's like, you put on a suit to talk like that, sir. Oh my God, okay, we're gonna get out of here because we're over time. Bunny Hop, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says, I'm a baby boomer and I voted for Donald Trump. Baby boomers are vintage. They're 70s and up, maybe late 69s. Yep. I'm definitely a Gen X. And we had a lot of issues. I was telling my niece and nephews about the ills of the Gen X generation. I said, y'all don't understand. We had a lot of horrible things happen to us. Y'all think the pandemic harmed, what is it, the Gen Z? The Gen Xers, we were harmed by a lot of stuff. We are the latchkey kids.
Yeah, most of us were affected by that Vietnam War, where the fathers came back totally different and the relationships weren't working out. People walked away from the families, traditional families and stuff. And we're the first generation that actually experienced, like you said, latchkey kids, single motherhoods, that were either forced or widowed.
Crack epidemic.
I mean, there's a whole lot. The Reaganomics. I mean, just remember the gas shortages in the 70s? I mean, we saw all of this stuff happening. It was just traumatic.
You ain't lying, Janelle. That the silent generation, boy, they silent for a reason, because they can't hear nothing else. They can't listen to good reason. Thank you, Brother Reggie. Love and appreciate you for that. You guys always make it a great show. I will be back here tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can lasso up Walter somewhere, as I'm sure he's running around the country doing something. Allen says Democrats got beat so bad they're doing an autopsy to find out what happened. Yeah, but you know what? You're absolutely right. You see him on the news now. Well, what happened was another cuddle think about it. She shouldn't have, and the campaign. And it's like, stop it, because y'all was standing 10 toes down on all of the foolishness, every last one of it. Well, Beyonce did say something profound. She spoke for 4 minutes, and I heard she got paid $10 million. To say 4 minutes worth of. They said Lizzo, I think, got paid like $3 million.
$3 million, yeah.
Oprah, what, $1 million?
Oprah got $1 million. I mean, you can see where that $1 billion went. She would look to make a Yes Daddy thing, $100,000 because you're too damn lazy to get on a plane to go to the studio. There were so many mistakes in this campaign. But if you guys go to my Facebook page, I put up an article, or you guys can Google it yourself. Google the collapse of Kamala Harris in 2019 and compare it to today, what happened today. You're going to see it's almost parallel. At the end of her campaign in 2019, what happened? Disarray, wasn't paying people, campaign went bust. I mean, it was just, we dodged the bullet as taxpayers.
Black America says, you're wrong about Trump bringing us together. He says, you and your daughter not about to get married. If it means it's a sucker like you, you damn right. Okay, we stay sucker free around here. And then you say you're wrong about Trump bringing us together. Well, I guess we'll have to test that theory, won't we? Because he's going into office again. And I know you're a big time Kamala supporter. You were so butthurt. You stayed away the whole time she was campaigning. Wouldn't even come in here and defend her. You tried one time, but then, I think you saw that was in vain. So you didn't come back. But yeah, as far as we not getting married, we ain't going to marry you. That's all you need to be worried about. Let's see here. Who else is on here before I leave? Joey says Hispanic men tell the sister no money. Oh yeah, in Chicago, no more money for you. Well, he might be getting a one-way ticket himself back to wherever he came from. Tanya says yes, they will let them keep them on the plantation. Dimitri, yeah, like I said, if that type of man want to be up on the plantation, that's probably where he need to be because he is of no earthly good to nobody. You know what I mean? Talking about scared. You gonna hide up under your mama's skirt?
Yeah, well, Dimitri, you got to remember, you've got some people that don't mind being in captivity as long as they're comfortable. Look at these guys that keep going back to prison over and over again because they're comfortable in there. Somebody's going to put money on my books. I'm only gay when I'm in here, such and such and such. You know what I mean? It's just some people as long as they're comfortable in captivity, they have no problem with it.
Right. Thunder says, my grandparents were part of the greatest generation. Yeah, mine as well. My grandparents were part of the greatest generation. My grandmother, my mom's, mom was a silent, but my dad's was the greatest generation. Mm-hmm.
But when people talk about bringing Trump, trying to bring people together, it depends on how you look at it. Is not Tulsi Gabbard going to be part of his cabinet? Is not RFK going to be part of his cabinet? Look at all the people that come from different aspects. Some were former Democrats or whatever that are going to be in his cabinet. And they were ringing the alarm, trying to wake people up and saying, look, you got to look at this, look at this, look at this. And they exposed the Democratic Party. So, I mean, it's a start. I mean, I don't know where we got to this R&D bullshit, bull stuff. Because the thing is, you're supposed to be an American first. At the end of the day, what is best for America and how these parties sink each other just so that they can gain power doesn't make sense to me at the end of the day. And guess who's winning? The military industrial complex. When the military has a budget and we're not even in a real war of $1 trillion, almost $1 trillion, and you wonder why you can't build new schools, you can't have universal health care, you can't have certain things as citizens that we're supposed to have. You look at that military budget and you don't have a problem with that, and the military personnel is small because of technology. Who's really winning here? The corporations.
Plus, I'm a middle child. I know all about the hate for the middle child. We don't get no love. We just be forgotten about, forgotten. The whole car family pulls off and we're standing on the curb like, hey, what about me? So yeah, I know. Donovan, you're not doing it right. Sit your ass down.
I am listening to this dog chow on the cat food in the cat food bowl. And I'm just...
You're not doing it right. I'm trying to tell Donovan how to get his dog to act right, being too nice. Do it like your mama would have did you if you wasn't listening.
I don't want to go to jail because technically, like I tell my mom all the time, she would be locked up by today's standards, how she disciplined my brother and I.
Right? All of our parents would be on cell block H. Woo! Anyway. I'm about to get out of here because I'm getting loopy. I'm tired. Lisa, how you doing? You just got home? Well, I hope you are getting relaxed, having you something good to eat and just not doing a thing else. A bitch stay winning. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. That's probably one of my favorite names right now on YouTube. A bitch stay winning. Nasir, how you doing? Says millennials are the bookend generation of real love and having some damn sense. My older brothers and sisters are Gen X, had access to boomers and silent generation. Everybody's screwed after we are for real. I can see that. My daughter, she's a millennial as well. Black America said it before. You like an echo chamber? Well, I ignored it. I'm quite sure. Whatever it is you said. Beautiful daughter of Zion, how you doing? Says music industry hijacked our music, destroyed it. Instead of fight the power, more like fight, and pew each other. And Chuck D sold out this election season too. He was big time Team Kamala. People was like, Chuck D? What? Fear of a Black Planet? Chuck D? That one? Wow. Thunder says, can anyone else believe that 1980 was 44 years ago? I miss my paper plate holders. Yeah, I remember 1988. I guess it was a good year. A bitch they went and says, glad Trump is in office. Yes, I do think he is trying to bring the country together, or at least up here as though he is, period. I don't trust any politician. That part. Miss D, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Seek Truth, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. About to get out of here. Black America, you don't believe much of anything. You talking about that women can run anything, but you got 3 women who run you. So clearly women can run something. If they can run you, they can run the country. Michelle says, because we don't wash collard greens in the bathtub. Right? If y'all really a Kamala supporter, show us your bathtub greens on Thanksgiving. Oh, speaking of which, Donovan, have you seen the plethora of videos that are coming out and tweets from people who have uninvited people to Thanksgiving dinner because they voted for Trump?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of them. So
I'll send you some Uber Eats, okay? Or I'll see if some of my family in California, they might not like you either because you voted for Trump.
Well, Walter might be doing something.
Yes, he can burn. He gonna have big steaks that big.
Yeah, the big salmon. Walter been making his salmon cut.
You're good. Go. You're good. You're gonna eat all day long. Go over there. Roz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I think I got to the bottom. Oh my God, I got to Tito. How you doing?
Has anybody seen Obama? Has anybody seen Obama since the elections? Anybody seen Obama?
Michelle whooping his butt. Why did you say that? You probably cost the election swinging your fingers at black men. Yeah, you can add him to jacking up the election for Kamala. Yeah, he helped, getting black people in line. So anyway, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We are going to get out of here so Donovan can get Benny in line for Benny tear up the whole damn house.
No, he's eating the cat food. I'm going to take him walking after this, so.
Y'all crazy. Y'all better quit calling Michelle Michael. Y'all know y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong. Why do y'all think that lady is a man? Can we just do 2 more minutes? Why do y'all think Michelle is a man?
I happen to have met Michelle Obama in Palm Springs when my good buddy David's on the Secret Service detail, and he invited me up to Palm Springs. I can verify she is a woman. Okay, she's a woman. Nice shoulders, very attractive. Very down to earth. She's a woman.
I don't get that. Why are they calling her a man? I don't know. See, that goes along with my theory, Donovan. Remember I talked about that earlier? Kamala light-skinned did. And, she automatically gets the benefit of the doubt because she light-skinned, and in our community, and even in her community, the Indian community, they have a caste system of if you're light, you're right. And if you're dark, then I don't know, right? So my thing is, would they be calling Kamala a man? Does it have anything to do with Michelle being a dark-skinned, sister? I don't know. I think that needs to be studied, but not tonight. Anyway, we're going to get out here. Once again, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Those of y'all here, if you have not gone to AfricanDiasporaNews.org to sign up for the app, what are you waiting for? Okay, speaking of independent news media, Black-owned, AfricanDiasporaNews.org has our own app where we could talk about what we want to talk about, how we want to talk about without being censored. It is an investment that you will be glad that you invested in. Black-owned. YouTube is not Black-owned. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, not Black-owned, but AfricanDiasporaNews.org is Black-owned. We cannot be self-sufficient until we build our own, right? That's what the forefathers have told us. Dr. Claude Anderson, Farrakhan have all told us. We need to build our own. We have built our own. Y'all please go over there and do what you can to invest in that. Because the more time we're over there, the less time we're over here, not being able to be our true, authentic, Black, beautiful selves, except for Black America. I don't know how beautiful he is, but the rest of us, we're cute. Anyway, we will see. Oh my God, I see y'all talking about Michael up in here. Michelle. Y'all wildin'. Let me get out of here. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.